My name is Virginia Cason. I am an intended middle grades education major here at Georgia. I want the main focus of my classroom to be making sure that every student feels respected in my classroom, and there's a sense of almost family or community among my students and me. I feel like when I was growing up, going through school, those teachers that went the extra mile to make sure that, the classroom felt like a family and felt like a little community was definitely the classrooms that I was more successful in. So I hope to be able to provide that same service to my students. In terms of the physical design of my classroom, I really want to emphasize the importance of group work. So I think what would work best for me is using those big group tables, not really the individual tables. Since I'll be working with middle schoolers, I think that most people, as we go through middle school, kind of experience this period where we try to alienate ourselves from other people and ostracize ourselves and don't really want to talk to others. So I think that by forcing my students to work together and collaborate in a classroom setting will really kind of help make the middle school experience better, even though it'll be uncomfortable at certain times. I also want to be able to emphasize the importance of the diversity that my students have both in and outside of the classroom. Every student that walks in through my doors is going to come from a different racial, socioeconomic, cultural background. Like, everyone is going to be different, and I want to be able to embrace that and use that to my advantage. I want to do this by using our differences to create this sense of community among my students. I want my students to be comfortable sharing the stories of their experiences and listening to stories of other people's experiences. But another thing that comes with diversity is the diversity of how students learn. As a teacher, it can be really challenging to be able to appeal to the needs of every different type of student. But one way that I think will be really simple for me to address this is by providing different styles of seating for my students. It's not really something that I thought about growing up because I was able to just sit in a desk and be fine, but my brothers have a lot of trouble just sitting in a traditional desk. They tend to want to stand up while they do their homework or walk around. So as a teacher, I want to be able to provide this for my students too. In my classroom, I want to be able to have the traditional chairs for students like me, or stools for students who really don't want the back, want to be able to rock back and forth, or a standing space, and even a space with bean bags and clipboards if that's what works best for that student. Another way that I can physically emphasize the diversity in my classroom is by making sure that the decorations I have hanging up aren't Eurocentric in terms of they're not just all, decorations of white people. I need to incorporate various cultures and various races in my classroom decoration.